This is a photo of Music Pest Control in Sharp County. It's a small business that operates, a family business that, of course, their goal is to try to rid the area and the residents that live in the area of having any pest problems. But they had quite a pest problem themselves. To just begin this whole evening with puns tonight on NEA Report, they had $150,000 embezzled from them. And that money was embezzled, I could say allegedly because it's not been convicted in court yet, but she's admitted to this in text messages in a letter we're going to show you here in a minute. It was embezzled by the wife of a police officer in Sharp County and the daughter of a mayor in Sharp County, the same person. Her name is Mandy Trivitt. And she's being charged with several crimes, but the trial keeps getting put off. At the same time that this trial is being put off, the business owner is facing IRS collectors who want him to pay taxes on the money he never saw. All he saw was the work that he put into making the money before Trivitt took it and spent it on herself and her family. How that she did that. How that her husband said he never had a clue. The evidence that suggests that it would have been a very difficult case for someone in that household not to have noticed. And what Music thinks. A lot of different questions, a lot of answers. And this Cherokee Village Police Officer, well, he's one we've reported on here before, Josh Trivitt. He's one of the suspects, I should say, the individuals being sued in the abuse case of Mr. VZ that we've talked about here before, the one where we showed you the video of the camera being covered up, and then you hear the flashlight bashing the guy's face in. He was one of the men that was involved in that, and now he had no knowledge of this. We're going to cover the case in full on NEA Report, in a very special report right now. I'm very glad you've decided to join us tonight on NEA Report. Thank you for choosing to be informed with us. Tonight, we're talking about a case in Sharp County. It's a case that's about a year old, but there's some new information we're going to be reporting on tonight. And we're also going to be connecting this case to another case that's, well, we'll just say it's in the family. We'll get to that here in just a bit. Jerry Music had over $150,000 stolen from his business. He has never had this money paid back. Now the IRS wants him to pay taxes on that money that was stolen, which is about $50,000 in taxes on money he never saw. He earned it, but he never had it in hand because of Mandy Marie Trivitt, 44, of Cherokee Village. Last year was charged with theft of property, second-degree forgery, and fraudulent use of a credit or debit card. Because between October 2014 and March of 2017, she allegedly stole $152,898 of money from Music Pest Control, LLC in Hardy, Arkansas. We interviewed Music this afternoon, talked to him extensively. You'll hear just a bit from him here in a moment. We asked him how this happened. We asked him about the effects his business is facing and where it's at currently. The prosecutor of the case, Henry Boyce, is refusing to communicate now with NEA Report unless we submit him a Freedom of Information Act request, and then he takes 3 days and answers. He's doing that because he's the prosecutor in the Lawrence County case, and he's the prosecutor that would also be covering Sharp County, too. The two counties that we have been covering this year for police corruption more than any other counties. And that's not my decision, that's just where the news has taken us. Well, nonetheless, we're having to speak with others to find out updates about the cases. But that's okay. Music told us this afternoon that the biggest problem he's facing at the moment, the IRS, is bearing down on his business. They want that money back to the degree that they have put a lien on his business that's affecting his ability to get loans, to do business in other aspects. And he's a financially healthy business. So healthy that they lost $50,000 a year, and although things were difficult, he said, and his accountant was telling him something's not right, they survived. They made it just fine. Now they realize they would have been making it much better than fine, if not for the acts of Mandy Marie Trivitt. So, Music told us that she had total control of the money. She was in charge of the finances. She was the gatekeeper. When the cash came in, she would put it in the bank, and she would pay the bills out of the bank account. And some of the bills for Music Pest Control were paid out of this account, the one we're talking about, because she had her name on that account. It was instructed to her. She closed it in 2014. She did not. That was how that she continued to take money and filter it through this account into her own life. Let's take a look at some of the account records right now. As a matter of fact, I could tell you all this stuff, and I will tell you most of it, but why not just show it to you as well? This is what the account was being used to spend money on. You can see on the right-hand side, you have the credits that were going in. On the left, you have the expenses. A lot of those are tough to say. It's a lot of code speak and whatnot, but you can see Walmart Supercenter, Flash Market, Walmart Supercenter, AA Rentals out of Cave City. That was apparently for a storage shed of some type. There's some payments that are going into credit cards there. I'll pull the super down because I also want to show you this. And if you see right there at the dead center of your screen, if not, I'll point the mouse at it so you can see there, Student LN, as in student loan. Student loans were being paid with money from Music Pest Control, along with other bills too. Light bills, car payments, personal stuff, Victoria's Secret and Bed Bath & Beyond too. That's according to Music. He was buying sporting equipment for her son, she said, only he had no idea. He was working for it. She was writing the checks. He was devastated when he learned his longtime employee had betrayed him, he said. He had her there for 14 years. 14 years of work, and he finds out that someone who's basically been a part of his business family has betrayed him all the way. But he would learn how far the betrayal went, because he finds this out while he's actually looking for a little extra money for his health insurance, because that's that whole debacle. Trying to find how to pay that increasing cost, and he finds this account. But before he has a chance to go file charges, he gets a visit that weekend from somebody. And it was a police officer, a Cherokee Village Police Officer, Josh Trivitt, the husband of the suspect. The husband who never knew about all of this. That's what he said. He never knew that his kids' student loans were being paid, or her student loans. Not sure who they were. Maybe they can clarify that for us at trial. He never knew that there were credit cards, that there was a storage shed that had been bought, car payments being made. Apparently he never knew about any of this. Somebody that's a law enforcement officer that's supposed to detect crime did not detect a $150,000 embezzlement scheme happening in his own house. Listen to this. While we were on the phone, I recorded the reaction of Music when I asked him how that the officer was unaware of all of this. And I just want you to hear what his exact wording was and the question that came before that. Listen to this. I recorded it earlier. Storage shed payment. You're talking about student loan payments. So her husband even came with her to you and tried to do a whatever agreement, settlement, payoff, however you want to word it. How would you, I mean, is there any chance in your mind her police officer husband did not know about this?
That's what he says, sir.
He says he didn't know about it.
Exactly.
With all the...
Yep.
Okay, so... All right.
Yeah, they got him a new house and got new furniture, and they had a big super boat that I was paying for. I guess he even bought a race car, a dirt track car right there at the very end with a trailer.
Well, you bought it actually.
Oh yes, sir. I bought all of it, sir.
Yeah. So, but I guess that he just thought that she was getting a bonus at work, maybe.
I guess. I can't believe he didn't know. That's just.
Well, would that be good detective work to figure out the person in your house has embezzled $50,000 a year for the last 3 years?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good detective if you could figure that out, I guess.
I guess if you can't figure that out is maybe what scares me more All right, so back to the visit that took place, this weird pre-charged visit when the officer of the law shows up to Music and offers him, according to Music, $50,000 on the front end to let it go, to forget about the debt, forget about filing charges, and he said no, because at that time he had just learned of over 150 grand stolen from him and he wanted it all back. That was then. And by the way, they said, according to Music, Trivitt said he was going to get the money from his wife's dad. His wife's dad is the mayor of Highland, a small community in Sharp County. I reached out to the mayor of Highland, the phone number that was on the city's official website. It's disconnected. I sent an email to him, but as soon as I clicked the link for him, it actually opened up the city clerk's email. So I sent it to her and asked for a comment about this. We'll let you know if they get back to us ever. At the time, though, as I mentioned, Music said no to this because he wanted the money back in full. But it's a decision he seems to kind of regret now, because now, at this point in time, he's facing the IRS saying, we want $50,000, we want it now, and they put a lien on his business, too. Meanwhile, he said the Trivitts have offered to settle several times, but for amounts like $15,000. They're begging him to settle. After years and years and years, they could probably, my guess is, if any of this money was spent on stuff that has a decent resale value, 10% of the value is a heck of a bargain. If I could steal $150,000 from somebody and only have to pay back $15,000, I would do it. Well, I would never do it because I'm not immoral. I had to think about that for a second. But most people would be all about it because that's a heck of a profit. It's also a heck of a way to stick it to a man who is out working as hard as he could with a legitimate business to try to earn his money honestly. The IRS wants back taxes. They want fees. They want fines. They put a lien on his business, and he can't get a loan, at least from the bank that this all happened at. He said it hurt him, and his words were, "They hurt me bad." And it's surprising to think that an officer of the law could not detect how that he was having an extra $50,000 a year coming in and household income for 3 years. Especially when you hear Music talk about the race car, the other stuff. Well, I guess Henry Boyce probably won't do too much investigating into that since he wears a badge. Nonetheless, Trivitt told investigators she let the scheme snowball. Even in those words, it made Music sick. He was describing this to me, and I could tell it was bothering him. And he described what happened, because it wasn't just that she showed up one day and one time made the decision to take $150,000. Oh, no. He described how she would tell him they could not afford expenses, such as a drill. He once said he needed a drill. She said, "Oh, we're going to have to wait till next week to buy that." Of course, they had to wait till next week because she was spending all of the money. All of it. Except for what was needed to pay his bills. And she was being paid her standard wages, too, I should point out. Which she ought to have to pay that back also. You know, $30,000 a year, whatever it may have been, $25,000 something a year. And this is all happening. His words to me were, quote, "If you go back to it, the friendship we had, the trust I had in her and all of that, and she was running the whole financial part of my business and just driving it into the ground. Every decision she made would be to make sure she got her money." And along the way, she tried to apologize for this stuff too. But he didn't want to hear any of it. And would you? I want to read to you the letter that she sent to him and show you her exact words. And then we'll talk about those. This is the apology letter, the actual letter that was sent to Jerry Music by Mandy Trivitt. And we're going to go through this bit by bit here on NEA Report. It's handwritten, just so you know. And I may make a few mistakes, so please be forgiving. At least I didn't embezzle $150,000 in cash. I know I'm the last person you want to hear from and that you hate me. I've been trying to write you this letter for the past few weeks. It's so hard to put into words how deeply sorry I am. I am so sorry I hurt you. I am sorry for making a mess of things. I am extremely sorry for taking from you and Glenda. I'm not sorry for getting caught for it, even though painful and terrifying was the best thing that could have happened to me. It helped me to realize I had become someone I am not proud of, someone I am ashamed of, and someone I do not ever want to be. I truly lost my way, Jerry. I look back, and it seems like a out-of-body experience. I can't believe what I did, but I did and can't change it now. All I can do is try to make it right, and that's what I'm trying to do, is make it right. I am sorry I can't give you a lump sum of money. I will do my very best to get you paid. It will just take a while. It is hard to find a good paying job with something, I'll go to page 2 now, like this on my record. Let's see if I can move this up so you guys can see that just a little bit better. That, by the way, seems to be her effort to try to make him see that if he pursues charges, she can't pay him back because she can't earn money with this on her record. It's hard to do a lot of things with something like this on my record, but it's my fault and I have to live with it. I caused great pain to the ones I loved most in this world, including you, for which none of you deserved. I caused a huge hardship for my family. I never meant to hurt anyone, and I wish I could undo it all. The hurt in my husband and kids' eyes when I told them what I had done was almost more than I could bear. I felt like I didn't deserve to eat, sleep, laugh, or live. The hurtful and awful things said about me on social media and the newspaper was hard. But you know what? People are quick to judge others when everyone makes mistakes, some bigger than others. Yeah, 152,000. No one is perfect. It's all in learning from them. I've never had to learn, by the way, from embezzlement. But anyway. So I deserve to live, she said. I do deserve to watch my amazing kids who I raised become awesome people. I do deserve to love and see my grandbabies because I'm human. God has blessed me with a husband who I hurt tremendously. She takes great pains to note that, by the way, that keeps mentioning the husband didn't know. The husband didn't know. 4 awesome kids, 3 grandbabies, some amazing parents, blah, 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 blah. Praise God. I pray every day, she said, that someday you will forgive me. I miss you and Glenda greatly. I hope everything is well. That's so weird. It's so weird to put it on someone to forgive you when you've done wrong, right? And as best I can understand, this was written last year, not this year. I just want to thank you for everything you did for me over the years. I bet. Thank you for being my best friend for 18 years and for loving me and my family. You did not deserve this. I am so sorry. This has been the most terrifying, humiliating, and humbling experience ever, and I deserved it. So much focus on her, right? Have you noticed that? I. In every sentence, you can just look at it on the paper and see I everywhere. I know you don't owe me anything, but I'm asking that you would consider the list of stuff we offered for it is all we have left, and consider the small payment until I can find a better paying job. I just want to make it right, and that's all I have right now. The other option is me sitting in jail, but I can't make any money there to pay you back. Can you say gaslighting? My family has been through so much this past year, and half not including the mess I caused. And I'm just ready to start making payments to you so we can get this behind us. Yeah, I bet. I still don't feel like I've said enough, but I'm going to close. I'm not a terrible person. I did a terrible thing. Please forgive me. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Mandy. I'm not a terrible person. I did a terrible thing. Well, Mandy, I'm presuming you're watching the show today. I know you are. And let me let you know something. Terrible people are defined by the terrible things they do. There is not a terrible person badge. The badge is the things you do and the things the community knows you for. Such as, for example, being part of a police cover-up of brutality. Just as an example. Or taking $150,000 from someone. There's even a text message I put up at NEA Report that's gaslighting if I've ever seen it, begging, again, for the victim not to send the suspect, the thief, to prison because that would be him doing it and not the judicial process. Again, this is the wife of a police officer. By the way, if you want to see that text, that's at neareport.com in the story. The business owner, Jerry Music, he wants to get the IRS off his back. Because this guy is a victim and he doesn't deserve having the government trying to collect money from him that was stolen from him. And it's unfair for him to be in the negotiating process to get a settlement while the government is trying to collect it from him. That's not fair. This is a screwed up process from beginning to end. Henry Boyce, we've heard, at least from music, has insisted some form of payment be made to cover the IRS debt, and apparently has said something is going to happen before September 1st. I haven't gotten that from Henry Boyce. He doesn't answer inquiries from the press unless the press is friendly to him or is incompetent, which is what he wants, because Henry thinks that the stuff that happened in Walnut Ridge is fine, and he covers for cops all the time. It would seem like he's not, or maybe won't in this case. I guess that's yet to be determined. We'll just have to see. But people who wear badges and their families should have to face the law too. And if you're going to tell me that this guy didn't know, then maybe he shouldn't be a cop. Because maybe he's not that competent, right? Let me save you a little money, Cherokee Village.
Family Medical Clinic of Walnut Ridge and Bono are your neighborhood healthcare providers, and we're now accepting new patients. We know you have a tight schedule, so we're here 6 days a week at both locations from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Walk-ins are welcome. In Walnut Ridge, stop by 1045 West Main Street or call us to make an appointment, 886-8300. In Bono, we're on Highway 63 North or call 930-9990. Walnut Ridge Family Medical Clinic and Bono Family Medical Clinic, here for you when you need us.
It's time for us to take a look at your New Wave Wireless weather forecast, home of the $49 iPhone screen repair. It's a little bit of a cooler day this evening. In fact, the low down to 67 degrees. It looks like it's going to be a clear night tonight, too, with sunny skies tomorrow, a high around 91, high around 92 by the time Saturday gets here, and maybe a couple of afternoon showers and thunderstorms on Sunday, but probably not. It should be a mostly sunny day with a high around 91, and 93 by the time Monday gets here with sunny skies. In Jonesboro right now, it's 86 with fair skies out there. It got a little dark earlier as it was, some clouds moved over, but we didn't see any rain here where we're at the studios. Curious what it's doing in your neck of the woods. Let us know in chat below what you're seeing in NEA. It's 5:08 across Northeast Arkansas. Glad to have you in with us today. Very busy day. A lot of viewers joining us this afternoon. The show's just about to wrap up, so you can watch it from the beginning, and we invite you to do that. Like and share it. Follow us on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Patreon. We're going to be producing a special show coming up at NEA Report. I'm Stan Morris, and you're up to date with news from Northeast Arkansas. This is NEA Report.